In May 2010, I went on a school trip that weekend, and it was raining a lot, and got back home, and it was still raining on Saturday, and on Sunday it was raining, and that was the day of the flood. We went to church just like normal that day, and we ended up going back early because it was raining a lot and we didn't know if we were going to be able to make it back home safe. And when we got to the street, we started helping our neighbors on the riverside move stuff from their basement to the attic. Then we realized that, hey, maybe we should check on our stuff too. And we found my dad in the garage, waist high in water, and so we started bringing in stuff from the garage and our back porch and our front porch inside the house. Then we were gonna evacuate by car, and then we found out the roads were flooded and we couldn't leave with our cars. So we took back the stuff that we had loaded into the cars back into the house. And then we heard some yelling from outside, and we go outside and it's a guy saying he's giving boat rides if we needed to leave. And so we were like, yeah, that'd be good. And so we get in our backpacks, we wait in the line that our street had formed, and we wait for our turn in the boat. And we get into the boat, and he takes us down the river to Lock 2 Park, and we're just crossing the river, trudging through the water until we get to the street that's water free, and Mr. Jamie Greenway is there, and it's like, hey, you guys need a ride? We're like, that'd be fabulous. And so we just hop in his truck, and he takes us to the church where they're feeding people who have been displaced. My parents were able to go back onto the street for like a week, and even then they had to canoe onto the street because the streets were still flooded. When they got back, our house didn't have any water still in it. And it's different from like a fire, because a fire, like everything's gone, it's burnt to the ground, but like a flood, like everything is still there, everything. When they're gutting the house, like everything's like in the front yard, and like my dad like loves our yard, like the yard's his baby, like he works on it all the time. And so just like that was hard, like seeing like it all nasty and gross. And basically my task when we were like cleaning up was inventory, like writing down everything that was like ruined, like keeping a notebook. It was full of like lists and lists for like insurance purposes or whatever. I don't think I was ever mad at God or frustrated, but I think that was mostly due to the fact that the attitude that my parents displayed. I think the flood was good for me and my family because it allowed us to experience something together. It allowed us to grow closer together, and it allowed us to minister to others who are going through the same thing, especially those who aren't believers, and it allowed us to share God's love and provision with them. I know that God has a plan. So whenever I have trials in the future, or when I'm going through something, I know that the end result is gonna produce an outcome that is good for me and that will help me in the end.